Damn. So one of you guys asked me to put this sound in the Paradox Volume 6 pack I released, and it's been out for a couple of weeks, but when I was remaking this sound, I had to do like 3 recreations of it because it was just that good. So today I'm going to be showing you guys some techniques that you can use for your sounds, for your presets, to make them sound bigger, to make them sound Adam Beyer certified, the king of techno, and anima psychic, Chris Avantgarde-ish, so that you can get your techno leads rocking. So the first thing that's very interesting about this sound is the utilization of an ARP. Now, most of the time when people use ARPs, what they'll do is they'll do something like this. Now, the way that this track uses the ARP is a little different. In the ARP, we have these features known as shift and range, and we can access the Serum ARP here. Now, the shift will shift the note or your sequence up a certain amount of semitones after it's completed, only when this range is set to more than 0. So with this guy, if I put 12, that means I'm going to jump up an octave, 12 semitones. From here, this range, I'm going to set it to 1, which means that after the note, the sequence that I'm pushing in is played, it's going to activate. We're going from this F sharp down here and jumping all the way up. Like so. Now, in a lot of recent techno tracks like Space 92 or Hauser, they've been doing stuff like this where they have a lead that's super sick. And just doing that, very trancy. Okay, and if we set this range to 2, we can even get trancy-er. So the cool thing about this is that if you're playing melodies, maybe sometimes you can add an ARP. Let's say that I'm playing a melody like, and that's kind of boring, right? So I can add this range to like, let's say 2. Makes me sound even better already. Pop, 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 and then hold down and you get the ARP unleashing its glory. Okay. From there, the next important thing on the ARP is this gate over here. This is how hard or how long the notes are being held, right? So I'm pressing the note, pop, right? How long is it being held? Okay. If I go low, I create more of these like very staccato effects. So some of you guys' brains might be already working going, that's how Anima does certain. Yes, that's how he does it. You know, okay, but this gate controls the length of the notes until you go higher up. The next thing that's super important with these kind of sounds is going to be kiss. This is what I want to tell people on their pickup trucks sometimes. You know, I don't hate on pickup trucks. You're going to go camping, that's dope, but kiss. Keep it simple. And then I won't say the last word because I don't want to be too mean, but anytime you're trying to make an anthemic lead, whether it's in techno, whether it's in progressive house, whether it's in tech house, whether it's in, I would say 80% of the time, you will always go with a saw. And this reminds me of back in the day where like they had Tom Starr, really amazing producer, do a Future Music magazine and like interview where he broke down a song. I think it was something like that. And literally the whole video was him processing a goddamn basic saw into a glorious sound that sounds interesting to the human ear and plays this cool little sequence for us. 2 basic saws, filter, being processed heavily in order to give us this amazing sound. We get that. Okay, so now let's make it ourselves. So for this, we're going to be playing D to D sharp to C. The first thing I want to do is I want to have the idea for doing like that style of sound, right? So let's say that I hear this song and it inspires me for my own song. So how can I do it? Well, we'll start off by activating our ARP, setting ourselves up for success. We're going to set this shift to a 12, our range to 1. And then from there, the gate, right? This is how tight you want it to play. I'm going to set it somewhere around here. From there, we're going to stay with the basic saws here. But again, the saw you pick, the tone will matter a ton. So definitely the starting point is somewhat important. I would say if we're picking saws, it's kind of like, do you want a red or dark red, a light red? Do you want an orange? You know, it's going to be in that sense. You know, it's not too far off. So again, we'll just go basic saw. Put two saws here to get some width. Okay, and see what it sounds like. Okay, now we're going to bring the octaves down. It's already sounding pretty good. we're going to use the Season 2 filter MG ladder. The difference between this one and all the other low passes that we have, or high cutters, is that the way that it cuts, the way the resonance reacts, and the way the drive reacts as well. So we're going to move this cutoff down, apply our envelope to it, boom. And I want to get that punchiness to come out now. Like so. Nasty. I'm going to also lower envelope 1 amp to kind of make that sound a little bit more prominent. What I did in that last patch is I grabbed this saw, detuned it a bit, and then I panned it left. And then I'm going to do that here too. This makes it so that I create width in my way rather than using the Serum way. I'm going to route it in here too, and then just copy the settings. Okay, cool. From there, we have to distort. So the type of distortion you pick is very important. You can go whichever you find, speaks to you. I'm going to go with, I think it was a sine shaper. And that brings in a lot of flavor. My headphones are rumbling. I'm going to use an EQ, remove some of the low end. So we get the top part of the sound to pop through, and the low end doesn't mask it. Now, as I hear this, maybe there's a little bit too much high end. So I'm going to use a pre or post filter. Pre is before, post is after distortion, in order to see what happens. Another distortion. I feel like we can push it more. Like it's... See if we can remove some of the low end with a pre-filter. See what happens. Okay. And now we have to compress it. We're going to be going with the either one, you multi-band, or you can go into your factory and get the OTT sound, or something that smashes it. I think I'll just do it manually. If I do all of this and I can't get the highs in, then it's maybe EQing here on the high end, which will alter this distortion. And then we start to get different tones. Add some resonance. Seems to do the trick. Sound, let's say you wanted to progress it further, then you can always layer in another saw, maybe either one up an octave or still in the same range, detune more. Maybe it doesn't go through there. If you guys enjoyed this video, consider supporting the channel over at evilsounds.com. This is one of the sounds from Paradox Volume 6, and it's going to contain a total of 200 Techno Serum presets, all crafted with one thing in mind, to help you make the music you envision. With that being said, you guys take care, and I'll see you guys next time for another video. Peace out.